All right, I got a bunch of airdrop updates for you today, some of which are just for information, but for some of these you actually have to take action soon. So let's get right into it, starting with the first update from Swell. Now, I've been talking about this airdrop on my channel for a number of months now. If you have been staking ETH with Swell and earning pearls, they just announced that the voyage will end in late Q1, so we're talking about March at the absolute latest, and then those pearls will be used to claim the Swell token. So it looks like if you do still want to participate in the Swell airdrop, there is a closing window of opportunity. The voyage map is almost reaching its conclusion, and you can actually stake ETH with Swell and then restake it with EigenLayer, which is going to be reopening at the end of January. You can also boost your pearls for the Swell airdrop by depositing the Swell ETH into a variety of different DeFi protocols. I think that the Swell airdrop is going to be a really solid one, especially since the ETH staking and restaking narratives have really come to the forefront. However, if you only have like a 0.01 ETH to allocate to this, it's probably not worthwhile. This is definitely one of those airdrops where it really rewards people that have a significant amount of capital to commit to it. But if you do have an ETH or two that you want to try to stake with Swell, the time is now. Otherwise, it will be too late, because there's only a couple months left. Okay, next up we have an update from Orbiter Finance, and this is obviously a bridge that you can use to send assets to and from different Ethereum layer 2 networks. Today they posted a recap of the last year, but hidden in the tweets somewhere near the bottom, they actually announced that the token is going to drop in 2024. Yeah, here we go. So here under token launch, they're saying that in appreciation of our devoted community, they're going to launch their native token this year. Now that leaves a pretty large window because there's still basically 12 months in the year, and they said that the O Points program, which they launched last year, is going to play a crucial role in shaping the airdrop. So if you bridge on Orbiter, you can collect points, and you can actually complete specific tasks to bridge to specific networks to collect points boosts as well. Now, in terms of whether or not this one is worth farming, I'm a little bit less optimistic. I feel like for some reason, I can't exactly put my finger on it, but I don't imagine that it's actually going to be that lucrative. Hopefully I'll be proven wrong, because on a couple of my other wallets, I really ran up the transactions on Orbiter Finance. This is just my demo wallet here, but it's probably worth it to do these special tasks here because you get way more points. So if you bridge 2 transactions to Manta right now, for example, you get 12 points, whereas a regular bridge is only going to be worth 2 or 3 points. So if you want to try to farm it by doing the quests that pop up for the O Points, that could actually be worth it in the long run. However, I do have to say, with Orbiter Finance at this point, I feel like they've really been milking it and farming the farmers. And they're really trying to maximize the amount that you're paying for bridge transactions, basically, over the next year. Also, the fact that they said it could be at any point in 2024 probably means it's going to tend towards the end of the year. So I don't know. This one, obviously, I'm going to claim it when it comes, and I'll be happy to get free money. But on the other hand, I'm a little bit tired of Orbiter Finance, not gonna lie. Next update though is for a Solana ecosystem airdrop in Camino Finance. And this one I am much more optimistic about because they just announced, well, they actually reposted an announcement from somebody else. But basically we have confirmation now that the Camino Finance points are going to be launching next week. And so while the MarginFi airdrop has been largely oversaturated at this point, the Camino Finance points campaign is just getting started. And if you have any assets on MarginFi, when points go live on Camino, it might actually be a good idea to rotate. And I feel like we're going to see actually a mass migration of liquidity next week from MarginFi to Camino, much greater than has already been occurring, because people are going to try and farm the Camino points since it's literally just launching. If you get in early, you'll get diluted less over time than if you just come in a few months from now and try to accumulate points then. Obviously, with these Solana DeFi platforms, the longer that you hold assets on the platform and the more that you borrow and lend, the more points you're going to get. So if you can get in on day one, and especially if we're going to see some deposit caps on the assets that you can borrow and lend on the platform, then it might be a good idea to pay attention to this one. And I do feel like Camino is going to have a decent airdrop. And like I said, with MarginFi, the ship has largely sailed at this point. I think they're getting pretty close to launching the token. So Camino is really the logical next target for the Solana DeFi ecosystem. Okay, the next update we have is for a free / testnet airdrop that you can qualify for. So a lot of people have been commenting on my videos saying that Ethereum mainnet is too expensive to make transactions on, which I totally get. And this right here is a test net that you can interact with and potentially qualify for a free airdrop. It's the Bera chain. So I'll throw links to this down below, and I might do a full tutorial on how to do this. The website's cool actually. It says up only, and instead of scrolling down when you reach a website's homepage, you actually have to scroll up. So it's a modular EVM L1 blockchain, and you can connect to their testnet and mint some new testnet tokens from the faucet and do a bunch of stuff. So I recommend doing this, and I will have a full tutorial on this coming out at some point in the next couple of days. Next update is for Celestia or TIA stakers. If you had staked any TIA tokens before December 18th, then you qualify for the Dimension airdrop, and the claiming period is running out. So I recommend that you go and check to see if you are eligible for the Dimension token. It's probably going to be a pretty decent airdrop. The futures for this token are trading on some platforms at, I think, something like $2 to $4 per token. And if you staked TIA, you got a couple hundred tokens per wallet. So it's going to be a pretty nice airdrop. I definitely recommend checking eligibility just to make sure that you don't miss the claim period in case you are eligible. And the final update I have for you today is for the Linea airdrop. This is an Ethereum layer 2. They recently had a massive voyage/campaign on the Intract website where you could complete a variety of different tasks, and if you did so, you earned experience points. But the thing is, they just announced today that you're going to have to mint those experience points in order to actually, I guess, qualify or claim the airdrop, and that is coming up soon. However, and this is super, super important, before you can actually mint your experience points, you're going to have to make sure that your wallet address passes proof of humanity, okay? And so there's a link to this here where you can check on the Linea website to see if your wallet actually passes proof of humanity. So this one here, this demo account, kryptocove, actually did pass that. But in order to mint your experience points and qualify for this airdrop, it looks like you are going to have to do this proof of humanity step, where you either have to have a Gitcoin passport with a score over 20, or complete one of these other identity verification steps here, and then also to verify some social accounts with Group B as well. So I will throw a link to this down below. Definitely make sure that you double check and see if you pass this proof of humanity threshold. And then the minting day for the experience points is going to be on January 22nd, and those points are going to be minted as soulbound tokens to your wallet, non-transferable soulbound tokens, which I'm guessing will then be used to claim the airdrop. So there's a bunch of things that you have to be aware of with this one, and make sure that you do the proof of humanity verification before January 22nd, otherwise you won't be able to mint the experience points. If you do miss it, I believe there's going to be a secondary claim window, but obviously it's better just to get in as early as possible. So that's it for today's updates. Hopefully you found this useful, and I'll see you later.